Today I'm going to do something that I've not done before, and that's I'm going to do a drawing using charcoal. So I don't like getting messy, so we'll see how that goes. What I'm going to do is I'm using this paper, nice new paper block I've got here. So it's 113 pounds, 240 grams a square metre. I think that's what it means. And it's a drawing and watercolour paper. But once I've drawn with my charcoal, I'm going to paint using acrylic paints, but I probably won't show that bit today. All I'm going to show today is drawing with the charcoal, and it's going to be a very loose type of drawing. I mean, I don't do loose. I'm normally very tight, like precision, and like things very tight and orderly. But today I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to use an image from this 2010. I'm terrible hoarder. Anyway, this old calendar with cat postcards. I'm going to have a look through here and see if anything inspires me to draw. But I'm not trying to copy any of these pictures. All I'm going to do is use the shapes and, well, whatever's in there that I like the look of. I like this one, I think, actually. This little cat here. I like all the folds in this blanket. So anyway, I'll come back when I've chosen what cat to sketch. But as I say, I won't be trying to sketch the cat as is. I'll just loosely use the shape of the cat or the background or whatever, and because it's going to form an abstract painting in the end, if all goes well. I'm going to use the paper horizontally, and I don't want to use masking tape because I get in too much of a faff with that and always peel up the paper no matter what I do. Yes, I've used hair dryers and all sorts, but anyway, I'm not doing that now. So I've got this frame, and I put it down and drew around the inside, so I've got a guideline where I know to stay in the line. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I can come across the line, but it's just so if I decide to frame the work afterwards, I'll have at least a bit of a margin there. It won't come right over to the edges, so you miss part of the painting. So that's what I'm going to do. I've had to look through all these different pictures of cats, and like I said, I was looking for one that had other things in the background as well. So it's not just the cats. There's other things here, like there's this tree here and a fence. So there's different shapes. And as I said, I'm not trying to copy the cats. I'm just looking for a starting point, just so I can get something down on the paper. And for the first time, I'm going to be using charcoal, which I've never used before. And well, let's see how it goes. It's going terrible so far, isn't it? It's a good job I'm not trying to copy them. The trouble is, I'm quite away from the board and I haven't got glasses on. And I can't see terribly well what I'm doing. But never mind. We still go with it. So, let's have another line going across there. All I'm really trying to do is create shapes And what else? Head's far too big for the body, isn't it? Gee. Let's just put him here. I was stopped in my flow by a phone call. So anyway, let's carry on here. I'm not very happy with this, but again, the trouble is, whenever we see things like this, we feel like we've got to copy, don't we? But I'm really got to get out of that. It's just, I know it's all wrong, out of proportion. But I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to convince myself. I'm just trying to just have something to work with. Let's put something down there. I quite like that, what's going on there. And let's say, let's do something here. Something going on here. I really must get my eyes tested. And something going on. It's quite strange using charcoal. You're meant to hold things further away from the end, aren't you, if you want to get something to look like it's a loose work and not contrived. So anyway, it's got here, and again, I can't stop myself looking at the proportion where this cat is taller than this and I'm making this one taller, but it doesn't matter. Tell myself it doesn't matter. And that bit there. What else can we do here? Oh yeah, there's a tree coming up here, isn't there? So I can do something like that and something like that. It's really awful when you've got no control of what you're drawing with. But I suppose it all comes with experience and won't feel so odd. Now I can't actually see, it's too far away for me to see what's going on in that picture. But what should we do here? I'll just make a line there. And what else can we do? The cat's face has got this interesting bit here. So there, and let's take that line down to here and take that line down to there, and it's got a couple. Oh, can you get one foot in there? Let's take that across to there. And what else can we do? Alright, this doesn't make sense, but I'm going to take a line and just go across like this. And maybe like that. And then just make a bit of a horizon. And I think some lines going upwards of trees. And there's some this side. Something going on there. And there's some shadows in the snow. And here it's a bit too, not enough going on in that area, is there? So we do something here. Something here. And something there. Anything else? That's a bit of a large area of nothing going on, but I think I might leave that bit for now. And what else? Bring it down. Well, I think that's enough to be going on with. As I say, it looks nothing like the photograph, but it's a starting point. So what I'll do next is, well, this isn't even too bad. These sticks here, there's not much that's come off, so I don't know if they're proper charcoal. I presume they are. They come out of my son's art kit that he had when he was small, and they've never been used, so I thought, well, I'll use those. Anyway, it makes a change from using a pencil, and also it makes it easier for you to see and gives me a chance of using charcoal. And I'm going to spray that with this fixative. I don't know how many years I've had this for. Give it a good shake. And then what I'll do is, what does it say? Place a drawing there. Important to test the spray before applying to finished work. Oh, let me just go and spray it in the sink. Right, I'm back. Yeah, that works fine. So right, press the nozzle firmly, holding 25 to 30 centimetres from the drawing. Spray a light, even coating. Right, okay. That should be okay. Whoops, because I'm going to paint over it all anyway. Oh, it stinks. So anyway, what I'll do is I will, well, let this dry, let that fixative dry. Then I'll decide what I'm going to do, like as I'm going to go over the shapes, choose my colour palette, and yeah, I'll share some of that with you next time. I don't know how much of it I'll share. I don't even know how much I'll get round to doing. Oh, I've made all this wet on there as well now. And also, if you're still with me, well done. Thank you very much. And this is as far as I've got on one of the paintings I was doing last week, where I was drawing my shapes. I've gone in and I've drawn even smaller shapes on this one. There's some I still need to outline, as you can see. Some I'm going to do thicker outlines and thinner outlines on some of them. But I think it's all right, isn't it? I think it's okay. And then also, this is what it looks like in a frame. So not too bad at all.